This episode of the Accounting Insiders podcast is brought to you in part by Xero. Xero is a powerful cloud accounting software that improves efficiencies across your practice. With all client data stored on a single unified ledger, you and your clients can easily access and collaborate on the same set of books. Xero's advisor tools and automation solutions reduce time-consuming manual tasks and put data entry on autopilot. Work faster and more efficiently than ever before with Xero. Visit xero.com/accounting insiders to learn more. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Accounting Insiders podcast. My name is Gary DeHart. I'm the host of the Accounting Insiders podcast and the publisher managing partner of Insightful Accountant. My guest today is Val Steed, who is Director of Accountants for Zoho. Val, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here, Gary. Very nice
Absolutely.
to talk with you.
Likewise. Glad you were able to come off a trip from India, or two trips to India. Today's March the 11th, and Val has already been to India twice. I always forget, are you in Utah or you're in Utah, right?
Yes, I am in Utah, right?
Yeah,
right.
so Utah to Texas. I'll be out there in Utah to India. I'll be out in Utah in May. We're going to the GrowCon. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not. Do you know where it's
Yeah.
held at? What
It's in
property
Provo. It's in
Okay.
Provo. It's at
Okay.
the Provo Convention Center. It's put on by the Universal Accountants
Okay.
or Universal Accounting School.
Okay, good.
And
Oh, I think
so,
you'll have
yeah,
a good time. That's a good time to be in Provo. So
yeah. Hope to get a little bit of fly fishing in while I'm down there.
we have that.
Yes, that's what I hear. When Scaling New Heights was out there, I went and we slayed them. Had a banner day. It was amazing.
Were you up
So
on the Provo River? Was that where you went?
actually, we went on the Weber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weber's good, but don't forget, if you're right down there in
Oh,
Provo River's good
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So,
I'll definitely. We'll get a guide for at least one of the days,
yeah.
and then. But yeah, for whatever, I think we went to the Weber. I don't know if there was stocking or weather or whatever it was, but it was amazing. It was great.
Good.
I can't wait to do it again. So, all right, I know you've got a short time frame for us here, so
No
let's
problem.
just dive right in. What I wanted to
Sure.
find out, pick your brain on, because you've been in this space a very long time, and I wanted to find out kind of what you're hearing from clients, and you deal with clients. Are you right now focused in the U.S. only?
No, US, Canada. We
Okay.
reach also a little bit of UK and Australia, New Zealand.
Okay.
Eventually, we'll probably do a lot more there, but right now it's mostly US, Canada. That's what we do.
Okay. What are you hearing from clients? Kind of what are the concerns? Kind of two things I want to touch on. Concerns, and then what are they looking for from a product standpoint? So concerns will be more just about the market business. What are they telling you? What's keeping them up at night?
Well, these equity, these ownership things, ownership of firms and where they're going and stuff, as some of these older accountants age out are an issue. I do hear market in general, a lot of concern. I think it's kind of a fear of we're not doing anything with AI, should we be?
Mm,
And some of that's a little bit unfounded because we'll talk a little more about AI in a minute, but
yeah.
that really is not an issue. What they need to do is stay focused on their practice, what they're doing, um, how things are going right now with their clients. So it's funny to see a little bit of this, hype and fear factor thing, but it's not new. Every time a new technology comes out, we could go back to blockchain and all this stuff, and it kind of goes around and seems to affect them a little bit. So that I hear. I also hear a lot of angst about our competitors and privacy, which should be brought up. I mean, and that's
Mm,
not fair for me to say in a way, because I compete with a lot of these guys, but we've got competitors that are literally selling data, and we don't get anywhere near that. We are extremely privacy oriented. In fact, at Zoho, there's privacy police, and they'll shut me down if they see a marketing program that's not quite up to snuff. So that's
Well, as a Zoho user, we've seen that as well.
yeah, yeah, they're very, very concerned about that. Now, from our own customers and clients, we're hearing the need of, they're thrilled we got a payroll. We just released payroll this fall, and
Okay.
that answered a big need. That was one that we were getting clamored for. So that's a very big thing and a really good option for people to look to if they're tired of other payroll solutions because we got all 50 state payroll. I mean, that's all great. But what we are hearing is more and more of our customers and clients are growing and they're getting into that mid-market space where they need more complex inventory. And our inventory right now goes down to the kitting level, and what they need is more full tilt manufacturing, distribution, and that's kind of an area that we've got to sew up and finish up. That's about all for the complaints, I would
Yeah.
say, to be honest with you, because our suite is, well priced and it's also well supported. We have had a few issues of people talking to us about the support and that they would prefer to see support for accountants, specifically focused on accountants, and a special support team for accountants.
Mm.
And we've been working on that. That one I think I have now in the works. So CPA firms, accountants, bookkeepers, others, we're going to kind of give them their special line. Kind of when you call it a Delta, if you got the Delta Diamond line, you go straight through and you get to
Right.
people, you get to agents that know what's going on. And I think that's something we need to step up and improve on a little bit. Because sometimes I'll get feedback that, well, I called in your support, and often I had to kind of train the people on what the accounting issues were. When
Hmm.
when these accountants call in, it should go to support that's, people that know accounting issues and have that. So that I think we'll see coming.
Okay, great. So on the AI, which you
Right.
referenced, what are you seeing that firms are doing with it, if anything? And what should they be doing with it, from your opinion? Again, you've been mostly on the technology side. At least my exposure to you has been all technology
Sure.
oriented. Um, what are you seeing? I mean, again, like you said, there's a lot of hype about it. It's everywhere. You can't get away from it. It is the shiny object right now. Um, how are they
It is.
managing that?
It is, and when we get together with a lot of these groups and we ask people what solutions are really using AI and what are you doing with AI and where it's at, I have my own opinions of AI and where you see it working is in more, like I would say, more advanced machine learning situations, RPA, automatic classification,
Mm.
automatic learning. Like a lot of these products are getting to the point to where they know you. You come in to use a solution and they know you. Straight out using I would say, to be honest with you, like just raw AI, firms and everybody in the market often will use it to reply to email, uh, write up documents, review documents, consolidate
Yeah.
documents. This is great. All these situations are great, but the whole idea that AI is going to eliminate, the accounting profession, I don't think so. I mean, remember when they kept telling us that blockchain was going to eliminate auditors?
Right.
Has it? Not even close.
Right.
In
Yeah.
fact, I don't even know anybody using a blockchain solution other than Zoho. We use blockchain in our Zoho Sign product. So when people sign documents, that becomes a blockchain. That becomes, a chain
Okay.
that's secured down that signature and working and using that. So, AI is kind of the same thing. We've had AI for many years. It's called Zoho Zia. AI built in our products to help advance and make things happen faster in the product. And we will continue. Oh, believe me, we're very dedicated to finding out how AI can be wound into applications to make everything more productive, efficient, and effective, without question. In fact, our CEO, Sridhar, just recently retired as the CEO, and he's now dedicated his future to just in the AI group and helping research and dedicate and create AI, essentially enhance our AI that we already have. So where do I think AI is going to be? It's going to be in products, embedded in products, just like you could do with blockchain or HTML or all these other tools and things that have come out in the market to make everything more efficient and more effective. Uh, Straight up, just seeing AI conquer the world. Yes, it will be in apps, and it will make everything more effective, efficient, and better.
Right.
Once again, it's just another tool. They'll still
Exactly.
need humans. Humans want to work with humans. There's plenty of tools right now in the accounting space that could pretty much take care of most day-to-day operations in accounting. But where the clients, what they really want is after that's all done, they still want to sit down and not talk to an AI engine that's making observations. They want to talk to a human. Even though the AI engine may be able to bring up observations for the accountant to bring up with the clients, that's where we're going. That we actually have that now in our practice product. We'll look
Okay.
at clients' data and it'll say back to the accountant, here's some observations we saw based on patterns, usage, data, whatever. You should be asking the clients this questions about this stuff. Kind of almost like audit questions. Okay, yeah, but still, in the end of the day, humans want to deal with humans, and they want the accounts to ask them those questions. So that's
Yeah,
where
and
I
I
think it
think
really plays.
yeah, that's great. And then and I think if you can really use those conversation starters, we'll call them, right? I mean, that is as a small business owner, you to me, you hit it, right on the head because that is what I need. I need somebody going, hey, by the way, did you notice that your profitability is up or down or, et cetera? And if I can use a tool like that, or better yet, my accountant can use a tool like that and help me focus on
Yeah,
my business, then that's a win for everybody. And it makes me a lot stickier for the accountant, right? Makes me
absolutely.
come back.
And the
So,
fraud detection capabilities and the fraud detection with AI, I think is going to be wonderful. I think AI's ability to look at data, just raw data, and review patterns, even with stuff like I think there's something called, it's not Bernoulli principle, but there's another principle based on digits. Who's using which digits? And
okay.
which digits are being used and how often they're being used. It's an old principle, but it's a true principle. The higher up you get in the digit number, like zeros, one, two, three, are very
Yeah.
common in accounting. It's just a weird thing about life. Those digits are very common in the world. If you see more occurrences of 7, 8, 9 than is normal, it usually indicates fraud in the data somewhere. And
Well,
stuff like that built into AI and using an old principle. They figured that one out, I think in the late 1800s, they figured this out. Auditors use that trick today. They'll go in and they'll look at data and see how many occurrences are of this or of that or whatever, these digits. And it's in the leading digit. So if the leading digit on a significant number of the entries or data in an accounting system is that 7, 8, 9, that
yeah.
usually indicates fraud. How
Oh,
about
how
that?
about that?
You build
How
that
about
with
that?
AI.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah.
Learn something. So, are you seeing any particular firm size that is a little more on the front edge of leveraging AI?
Well, the big firms are all over this thing
Yeah.
and dedicated, AI departments and looking to how to research tools and do things. I think this one will be typical of everything we've seen with the bell curve. I think you'll see some big firms adopt it,
Yep.
early adopters, and you and I both know often it's the regional firms that really get stuff going quicker often than the big firms. I just think they're quicker to react, and I think they have the resources to react. The smaller
Hmm.
firms, the ones that are just a few states or whatever, uh, they're gonna kind of be lagging and waiting to see what's done and then learn from it. But those regional firms are already quite aggressive from what I've seen.
Okay, great. Well, I know we're on somewhat short time, so
Sure.
I've got two things I want to cover before we wrap up. One is your purpose at Zoho. It's kind of dual purpose, right? It's to bring accountants to have them using Zoho, but then also to build out a base of Zoho kind of like consultants or accountants that are um, presenting Zoho to their clients. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We want both the accountants and then we want accountants to become cheerleaders essentially and recommend it to their clients. If you think Pro Advisor, I mean, I was
Yep.
part of the Pro Advisor advisory board 25 plus years ago, helped Intuit build that whole club, if you will. We're trying to build that same type of a club with Zoho US and Canada, where we want these accountants to come in and not only use the product themselves if it fits their firm and whatever, but then also,
Hmm.
of course, recommend Zoho solutions to their clients. And that's the bigger effect. That's the snowball effect when you start
Sure.
getting to there. And so as we shore up a lot of these concerns that some of these accountants have, especially as we stay in the market longer and they see that we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here forever. We are privately owned. We have no outside money, so we don't have like some crazy venture capital people telling us what to do or telling us
Right.
to cut support or do all these other nutty things that they tell folks. We'll just consistently keep adding features fixing, add like the support groups, do different things, and it's a long-term vision of essentially taking the entire ERP accounting market, quite frankly. We're not trying to stay just small, medium business. They are absolutely building this product so that as where it fits, it can scale up and go into enterprise and go bigger.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, we've used Zoho and still use Zoho. Um, and it is, if you're not familiar with it and you're listening to this, go check it out because as Val mentioned earlier, it's inexpensive and it is an amazing set of tools that it offers for, again, this isn't a sales pitch for Zoho, but I can speak to it as a user. Um, the offering is tremendous, and it's everything from books to marketing
Hmm.
to CRM to we're real heavy in our surveys that we
Right.
use the survey tool a lot right now. And it's just a very comprehensive product. I can't speak
Sweet. Right.
enough about it. So all right, so new product wise, we already touched on that a little bit. And then if people want to learn more, where can they find you? Both in person at upcoming events and then online. And then we'll get out of here.
If they're really looking for just me, Gary, and by the way, let me give you one quote about product. And this is going to sound a little salesy, but our claim to fame, our real reason, and the reason I joined Zoho is we're not just accounting. We're an entire suite. So if
Yep.
you look at Zero or you look at QuickBooks, QuickBooks Online, it's just accounting. Ours is that entire suite integrated all the way, as you mentioned, from CRM, HR tools, website management, even email campaigns, surveys. I mean, you and I both, there's like 50 something apps, okay?
Right.
So it's a whole world, right? So yeah, that's kind of that one thing. If they're looking just for me, that's easy. If they go to any browser and just put in my name, Val, VAL, space, Steed, Steed, search it, they're going to find me. I've been in the internet too long. It's a little
Yeah.
scary, to be honest with you. But that'll find my LinkedIn page. It'll find a lot of posts and things I've done. They can easily connect with me through there. That's the fastest way. If they want to get to me, LinkedIn is one of the fastest ways to get to
Yeah.
me. Now,
Okay.
if they want to go straight email, I don't mind telling them that right here on the podcast. My email is simple. It's Val, VAL, at zohocorp.com. Okay.
Okay.
So they just need to make sure they got the corp part on there because a lot of folks, our free email and our corporate email that we let the world use is zoho.com, and then employees are zohocorp.com.
Okay.
Now, if you're looking for like our partner program and my team, if you're kind of looking for that, that is zoho.com/CPA. And that'll take you to the finance partner sign up website. So those three different ways to kind of reach out to us. And
Okay.
we'd love to talk to anybody that's a bookkeeper, accountant, CPA, CA. CAs are out there, CMAs, everybody. They're all
Yep.
part of it. They're all part of who we're looking for. And globally, we're getting a lot of folks to sign up right now. It's been going very well.
That's awesome. And then face-to-face events, and we'll wrap up.
Oh, a bunch. Yeah, I was going to look at the calendar quick for you. In April, we've got a event with ITA going, of course. We'll be at ITA. May, we're going to be at Firm Growth Forum. We also have our Zoholics, and we will also be at BDO Evolve. June, AICPA Engage will be at the Alabama annual meeting and also at two places the next week, Scaling New Heights, and also the Maryland Association of CPAs annual beach retreat thing they do with a couple other states.
Okay.
July, I'll give you one last one and then we'll go
Yeah.
because it's probably way out there. There's this really cool event done by 6 states in the South called the Gulf Shores Beach Retreat. And Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Kentucky, Louisiana, Texas, they're all part of this thing. and they're there for a week from like July 20th to 26th. A lot of CPE goes on then, and then of course they cut people loose to go enjoy the beaches and do things. We'll be there the whole week. Just
I have never heard of that, and
it's a
I'm
fun
in
group.
Georgia.
Yeah, you ought to check it out. Call Georgia and say, hey, how do I get signed up or go down and see this thing? Because it's really pretty neat.
Well, funny enough, I'm still involved with local Boy Scout troop, and one of the guys in it, he's on. I don't know if he's on. I don't know what his title is, but he's pretty high up in the Georgia Society. So I'll have to ask about that when I see him on Monday.
Sure. Yeah, check it out.
So,
And the Gulf Shores CPE event.
well, how about that? All right. Well, very good. Anything we missed?
No, thank you for your time, Gary. And it's always great to
Absolutely.
talk with you. And we'll
Yeah,
talk again
likewise.
sometime. Yes.
We'll see you very soon. All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
sir.
Val. Appreciate
Bye.
it. All right. Bye bye.